Three, two, one. Well, we're live.
Oh yeah,
Welcome to Box Lunch One. Corona time.
it's Corona time.
It's Corona time. My last one.
Nice, nice.
Last one.
Uh oh.
Got the bare essentials.
Can you get beer delivered?
You can get it delivered. The only downside to it is you have to show ID. So
Ah,
I don't. I did it once, and I told the guy to leave the stuff at the door because that's what I've been telling drivers.
and they're
Leave the
like,
stuff, and then he's like, "I need your ID." Because I was talking through my ring, through my
oh yeah,
not my ring, my
your
Nest.
Nest doorbell.
Yeah, and he's like, I need to scan your ID. So the last time I was gonna add more to the list, and I'm like, man, I don't feel like I don't trust it right now. Swapping, I don't have gloves, so I'm like,
Oh yeah.
you know, I don't know. Anyways, episode 21, we're doing something a little different this time. We do have our fancy headsets with us, so audio should be pretty clear.
Pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
This is my
Consider.
this is my old one though, dude. This is not the pro
Oh
level.
yeah, I could tell.
This
So
is
that
the
one's
$35
doesn't sound
headset.
bad.
Yeah,
Sounds
does the
about
job.
sounds like $35.
Yep.
Oh wait, let me take this off. We're using StreamYard today. I was tempted to upgrade to get it all, you know, fancy and to
Yeah.
send the stream to Twitter and to Facebook all at once. But I figured with the very small audience that we have, it's, it's not worth it right now to
No.
save the $25. But it's cool. In fact, Gary Vee's using it now, and I noticed it this morning when he was live. I'm like,
Ah,
man, this interface looks so familiar, and then I noticed the comments. So if you see here, um, you see how it shows the little YouTube icon and the name. Watch,
no, I don't see it. Oh, live comments. Yeah.
yeah. So you can show live comments through the interface, which is pretty
And
darn cool.
those go live to YouTube.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, whatever you're seeing on screen, that's what everybody's seeing.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
even if you're watching on Periscope, which apparently some people still do,
Hmm.
um, or LinkedIn, if you have an account that's approved for that, um, and then all the comments get aggregated together. So from all the platforms, they show up right here, and you can add them. And obviously, you can remove the branding here, little duck. You can put your own branding and your own this thing overlay.
Uh huh.
But it's cool because you basically upload any graphic you want.
Yeah.
And for overlay, you can actually upload video. So it allows you to put in intros and outros to your live feeds or play clips in between a feed,
Mm,
which is super cool with music and all audio. So
nice.
it's a pretty cool platform, but that is a pro feature. I figured maybe when we get into some pitches or something like that, we can
Yeah.
we can fine tune our formatting and we can add more functionality to it as we go. And these backgrounds too, you can change them however you want. But obviously you're using a Snapcam, so you're being a little fancy there.
Yeah.
It's a display
Snapcam.
names.
You would think though that like they even have like a section for working from home, and you'd think like, all right, they're gonna get a little professional with it. Nah,
No, no.
no, dude. Their work from home stuff is just as crazy as this. Like, why don't they just make some simple ones, like some green screen things, or some funny stuff that's just like more work appropriate, but it's not. Like, come on, Snap. Here's your chance. Here's your
Yeah,
chance
especially
to
now,
blow it.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for some reason when I load that cam too, it hogs up my memory, man. It
Oh, it's a huge hog.
did. And then Chrome, yeah, you know, you got Chrome and that running, and just your fan just goes nuts.
Yeah.
But anyways, what's been going on, man? How are you? How
Doing
you holding
good.
up?
Doing good. I don't think I have the coronavirus, but I won't know. So just so everyone knows, I went grocery shopping on Saturday or Sunday, one of those days,
Yeah.
and I got a little sick that evening,
Oh,
and so I kind of had one of those like panic moments where I'm like, oh god, here I go, I got it at the supermarket.
yeah.
So I've been sort of taking it easy since then, but the problem is like they say that the real onset of the symptoms doesn't come till like 5 or 6 days later on average.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
today's Thursday. I'm literally going like, all right, Thursday,
Counting the days now.
counting the days. Like tomorrow will be like day 5, and then the next day, day 6. So I mean, what else can you do? You're cooped up at home. What else are you gonna think about?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's what's up.
Cynthia and Sienna have been feeling some stuff, which is same thing. You're just counting days of like,
Yeah. But you guys
watching
haven't left the
sunset is
house
counting
though,
days.
so you don't. I mean, what's the chances? I mean, it's
Yeah,
gotta be pretty low.
I've done a couple of drive ups,
Mhm.
pickups. Plus, I mean, when you open, you figure someone went shopping for you, right? Even when you're ordering stuff.
That's true.
So
Someone was
think
there.
of all the hands that have touched the stuff.
Yeah.
And even though we do our best to sanitize
Mhm.
here at the house, it's apparently so contagious, right? That it could be on a box of cereal and you don't even
Yeah.
know it, you know?
We sit and
Yeah.
wipe it all down with
Well,
our
so
little
do we,
Clorox
but
wipes.
what if you miss a spot or
I know, right?
touch your face by accident or that's how it happens, you know? It's
It's
just
ridiculous.
crazy. Um, obviously for those listening, that's no secret. I mean, it's obvious that what we're talking about here, because everybody's going through it.
Yeah.
Um, it's been a little wild, man. A little wild. What's the craziest thing in the last dude? Because remember, you and I decided before anyone started talking about staying home to stay home.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I think I was on my way to Redondo that day. Were you coming or I was going? One of the two, and you messaged me that morning and said, "Hey, man, I think we need to take this serious."
I think I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was like, why don't you stay back today? And yeah, that was like 4 weeks ago or something.
yeah.
Yeah. And I kept the kids home too.
Oh,
And
that's right. You did.
and at first my wife was like, what do you well, she's like, I'm okay
Seemed
with you working
extreme,
home,
right?
but yeah, she's like, whoa. And then she said that when she got to work, she's like, she's like, I'll back you up if that's what you feel. I was like, I do, I'm good.
Yeah.
And she got to work, and she said by noon that day, like everyone was serious about it. She's like, they had meetings, and everyone's like, all right, here's the plan. We're all gonna start working from home starting Monday.
Yep.
So she's like, you were a little, she's like, I thought you were crazy at first, but then by noon the next day, I thought you were right on. So I was like, hey, I'll take it.
It might have been. I think it was that Thursday too of
Mhm.
that week when Trump did his had the press conference.
Yes.
Well, it was literally the first one
Mhm.
about Corona, I think. And I remember it was going to be at noon, and so then I came home because I was at the office. I came home and I said to Cynthia, I said, we should go to the store right now
Yeah.
because once we don't know what he's going to say, right? So we jammed to Target that day
Uh-huh.
and there was already like 3 aisles of like stuff empty,
Uh-huh.
and then people all in the food aisles just scooping up whatever, man. Like
Just going
there
crazy.
was, yeah, there was like, beans and rice were gone, and like I ended up just getting whatever. I'm like, just grab it, just load
Yeah.
up as many bags as you can load up, and that's what we did. And we came home, and then obviously he's been more downplaying this thing since day one. I feel it's typically like the doctor will come out and kind of say what's really going on, but Trump
Yeah.
seems to downplay it, right? So it keeps people from panicking, I guess. But it's like it just kept getting worse and worse. So for us, it was the safest thing was just stay home, man. Like straight up.
Yeah.
Like what it's not gonna kill us to stay home. Like fortunately for us, our jobs don't demand us to be somewhere, and like
No.
you know your kids, you make it work.
You
You
make it work.
sacrifice and you make it work.
Yeah. I'm working
That's
out of the
really
garage right now. You want to see this? You want to see
80s retro.
go
Oh
behind the
shoot!
curtain here? I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
It's the washing machine and dryer
Sponsored. This episode is sponsored by Tide.
by Tide.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm working out of the garage. That's how we do. Nothing
Yep.
fancy about that. But and what's great, dude, is the ceiling has leaks in the garage, the roof. So I'm
Oh,
sitting here.
man.
I've got towels. I've got a towel right here behind my monitor because it drops. Like one of them drops right
Yeah.
here. How ghetto is this?
Yep.
But oh well.
You got
And
to
it's
do
been
what you got to
raining,
do.
dude. It's been raining like the last
Yeah.
3 days. So
Yeah, it has.
anyway,
No complaints here other than there's a nap couch right next to my desk, and I've never napped more in my life than now. I finally like the first 2 weeks were cool, good schedule and everything. Third week, I was just like, man, I'm napping a lot. And then this week,
yeah,
with no F's given. I'm like, I don't even have a concept of time anymore.
right,
Days or time. I don't
yeah,
even care, honestly. Go to bed
right,
at 1 or 2 a.m. and get up, I don't know, 5:30, something like that, because I like to get up early. Even though it's 4 or 5 hours of sleep, which is bad. And then after a couple hours, I'll just go back to sleep for like an hour if I'm super tired.
yeah.
And then I'll nap throughout the day. Just walk over there and close my eyes, and I'm like,
Up
whatever,
it, up it.
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm not going anywhere. Nobody's going anywhere.
no,
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
it's crazy. Well, what's one of the things we did? Was it last week to stay more on task? What was the one? What was something that we did? We did a little hack.
Last week to stay on.
We call them our sprint sessions.
Okay, first tell the audience what you discovered.
Okay.
And then,
yeah, so and again, we're on all these Slack channels, and someone posted a thing called oh bro, what was it called? Here, I have it on my bookmarks. It's called,
you can share it too if you want. We've got,
all right, I'll pop it up.
yeah.
Yeah, check this out, guys. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Share screen. Okay. I can share.
And
Okay.
for those of you on audio, we'll tell you what we're sharing.
Is this it? Yeah, it is. Okay. So it's called FocusMate. Can you guys see that? I'll make it smaller here a little bit.
There it is.
So check it out. It's called FocusMate. And the idea here, sorry guys, I keep moving it. The idea here is that you can do work sessions with total strangers who are also trying to stay on task. And so you can see here Thursday coming up here at 5 o'clock. So I could have a work session here with Martha. Okay. We can see Martha. Look at this, dude. No, I'm not joking. Like, look at this. People are into it.
So
Look at this.
stupid, man.
Completed sessions. Martha's done over 1,000 of these. Okay. Like, and she's in Chicago. She's been on since
Yeah,
2017.
but but tell us what it is.
Well, it's just a video chat. So essentially, what it is you jump on and you just like this, like a video screen, right? Here's a launch session test thing. So you just pop on, and it's sort of like chat roulette. Like you're just like, hey, here's someone I haven't met, and you're like, hi, how's it going? And they're like, hi.
Like
You
you
know,
actually talk to them?
oh yeah, you talk at first. So you're like, hey, what's going on? Oh, not much. Where are you from? Blah blah blah. A little short, chit chat. And you're like, oh, what are you gonna focus on today? And they'll be like, oh, I'm gonna focus on. I've got, dude. This one lady from New York was like, I have to do laundry. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm working on a presentation for some work proposal or something. She's like, oh, okay, cool. And she's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go on. And she's like, do you prefer to be on mute, or do you want background noise and stuff? She's like, I'm like, just mute it. She's like, okay, cool, do the same. So we just go mute, and I'm just standing there watching this lady in New York City fold her laundry. Like,
So the idea is that it doesn't. So it keeps you productive because you know that it's like you're sitting in an office and somebody next to you is doing their thing working, and it keeps you from just getting up or
yeah,
being distracted.
yeah, exactly, because you're looking at them and going, oh yeah, they're working. It's like this weird accountability, and it works. It freaking works. And so I would do it, and I'd be like, okay, because you can just do it for like little hour sessions here and there.
Yeah.
You can see when other people are on it. And so I started doing it, and then it turns out here you can create. It says here, want your own group, so you can actually create with the pro account. You can actually create a group of people you work with. So like, we could do one for Sitebox, and that way just Sitebox people show up. If you were a big company, imagine if you had 100 employees, and you're like, I want to have that available for them. You could just throw everybody in a group. So that's the idea. And I was like, well, wait a second. I don't even have to upgrade. We use Zoom all the time. I'm just going to schedule these with Charlie. and that way we can both, be more productive. And
we did it last week, right? It was
we did it. Yeah. We did like 5 of them.
Yeah, we did. A couple of them went a couple hours on some of them.
Yeah. And what did you think?
The hack for me, honestly, wasn't bad. Like, I don't really need that to be productive. But what I liked was this idea that because we're running the same company, we're partners, and just knowing you were right there. And the cool thing about Zoom is the Command M shortcut that you showed me. It minimizes the video, to the tiniest little box.
Yeah.
And it stays on top of all your apps. So I literally just put it in the corner here, and we're both on mute basically. And if we need something, we still Slack each other. We're still like, yo, where's this, or check this out. And if we need to talk, then we just like, we say on Slack, or we start waving, yo.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
I did like that quite a bit. It was cool. Yeah. And it kept us. What actually did work for me is not so much being on focus, but being on task on a specific thing or project.
Yeah.
Instead of jumping around, because I'm notorious for doing like 30 or 40% of one thing and then jumping to another thing and then to another thing and then answering an email and then, you know what I mean? Like just being all over the place. And with this, it was like, cool, let's work on this,
It was the W Panda stuff, man. That probably wouldn't have happened had we not done it, because
that's right. We cranked that out
because it was just, some of it was just tedious work,
It was, yeah.
And that's the thing, man. Like, yeah, if work's fun, I'll just do it, right? It's got its own sort of its own intrinsic pull, for you to want to work on it. But when you're doing stuff that you're not enjoying, having a little bit of that accountability definitely helps,
Absolutely.
Push you through.
Yeah, no, good point. So just to update you guys on what Nathan's talking about, believe it was March 6th 3rd or 6th. I don't remember. We went and spent a day at
Yeah.
Cross Campus in El Segundo, which was something that we had talked about doing for a while, which was getting a membership, a hot desk, to just pop in a couple of days a month and just be around people. So we ended up doing it, which is kind of ironic that we want to be around people right now, but we
It was like right as this stuff was starting to kind of happen,
yeah,
and I remember joking with Charlie. I'm like, "Yeah, we're here to catch Corona," you know. 'Cause-
yeah. And I remember not even thinking anything of it back then. Like, dude, you know,
Yeah.
'cause you're always, you know, you're the one that worries about that stuff more
I
than I
know.
do.
I know.
You had already bought your beans and rice, I think.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Anyway, so we did that, and then on the way there, I was like, man, I had just purchased an insurance from Upsy for our gear that we just bought, our A7 III and our lenses, and I was like, it was easy, painless, took me minutes. Paid, I don't know, a couple $100 to cover the camera and the lenses for like 3 years, something like that.
Mhm.
And I started to think on the ride over there with all these billboards all around, you know, I don't know, where was I? The El Segundo, the 405. I'm seeing billboards everywhere for insurance company this, insurance company that, right? Which is that's all people sell, you know, insurance, insurance, insurance. And I was like, why doesn't website insurance exist? Is there such a thing, right? Is there that concept? That's what sparked the idea. So
Right.
then we show up, or we show up, we meet, and so then I tell you about it, and then we
Yeah.
start thinking, and then one thing kind of morphed into another, and we said, well, why don't we? Because insurance is kind of it's tough, right? Because a website's not, you know, there's too many. It's too many variables involved for.
Yeah, we're
For
like we can't be like have a policy or something like that where we're like paying
right.
out cash or something like that, like a lender. Like, but then you're like, well, what if we just do it really simple, just back stuff up,
Yeah.
and be like, sort of like AAA, where you're like,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
you get stuff breaks down that one time a year,
Hmm.
we got you.
Yep.
You don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's better to have it than not.
Right. And then we decided, well, why not just go WordPress? Why deal with all the other garbage that's out there?
Yeah.
It's 100 million WordPress websites. It's a third of the internet at least. And we said, okay, that makes sense. We've seen companies succeed doing just WordPress, like WP Engine and Flywheel. So then we said, okay, it's WordPress. Peace of mind is kind of like where we left things, and then we were coming up with, then we do what we do, right? How do we make it look like $1 billion, and how do we launch an MVP quickly? Okay, go find tools that we can find, right off the shelf to do this. Okay, so we need a subscription backend, done. Memberful.com, done. We need a payment gateway, Stripe, done. Okay, we need branding and a website to be the front face of this thing. Oh, well, guess what? That's what we do. And honestly, the only reason it took us 3 weeks is because we wanted it to look like $1 billion, even though an MVP should just kind of like, be rough and
that's my fault too. You probably would have launched it a week earlier.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at it, it just looks so much more legit, right? Now, so yeah, we launched that last week. It's getwpanda.com. I'll put a link here. Play around with this thing. Getwpanda.com. And if you're watching, I'm going to give you guys a code Sitebox, 25% off right now.
Hey,
If you're watching, there you go. GetWPanda.com. There's a sponsor for today. Code Sitebox, get 25% off. No, we're excited about it, and it was very very minimal work. I wouldn't say little work because it was a lot of work, but minimal work. We did the bare minimum that we could, considering who we are, because we tend to kind of overdo everything sometimes
Yeah.
when we're trying to launch something. So I'm proud of us. We got it out. It's out there. Check it out. Getwpanda.com. But yeah, we did that during Corona. It's on our last vlog. A little bit about it, the overview and all that stuff. What else did we do during Corona besides now we got to cancel our cross campus membership?
Well, are we?
It's,
I don't. Are we on a repeating thing with
well, yeah,
them?
we
Or?
signed a contract and they sent. Fortunately, it wasn't like an auto pay.
Oh, okay.
It was like a bill, like a a bill in the email. It says, I still getting notices. Hey, your bill's past due, and I'm like, bro, you're trying to charge me
For not
for
even.
for
Yeah.
April when
You can't
your thing's
even go.
closed. Like,
Yeah.
no, that's not happening.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny, and I'm sure all the co-working places are having this problem, but like they have a chat, right? Like a Slack channel,
Yeah.
and someone was straight up like, "Hey, what's the deal with credits? Because obviously we can't use your space." And I mean, dude, what are we paying? Like $50? I mean,
Yeah.
zero. I mean, so little, dude. People are paying $5,000 to have their whole business run out of there,
Yeah.
right?
Those
If you
larger
have,
offices, right?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you have 5 employees, you're paying $5,000 easy, you know? And so imagine those people, and dude, crickets.
I did see that on Slack, and
Like
nobody responded.
crickets.
Yeah.
And then like a few days later, someone was like, DM me with, so we can talk offline. And you're like,
Yeah.
that's such bull, dude. You have to, I mean, how long does it take to come up with a policy on that? Like, in the event of, like that should have been nailed down. Like, what if you had like a fire, or what if you had, some sort of event that prohibited you from using the space? You're going to still charge your members because of, extenuating circumstances? Like, you can't do that. Not at those rates. Not at those rates. I mean, for us, like, shoot, like Suzette has a gym membership. We're just gonna, it's like $25. Like, all right, fine, just, let's see how things go. Don't need to, cut it all off. But if you're paying thousands, there's got to be some sort of way of working it out. And I think credits are sort of how it's gonna work. Like, but it's just weird.
It is weird.
No,
I'll tell you.
businesses aren't ready for this.
I'll tell you what Disney did. So, for those of you that are familiar with the annual pass, first of all, they're super expensive. They're about $1,500 a year for like the premium, or one of the top ones.
Right.
So we're a family of 4. So do the math.
Yep.
1,200, something like that. 1,200, 1,250, something like that. Once you add fast max pass and all that stuff. Well, the way it works for people in California is Disney allows you to pay it in 12 months through a monthly payment.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, but it's still like, it's basically a car payment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's not nothing.
It's a super like luxury thing to have, right? It's like some people have country club memberships, right? And those are thousands, right? So this is like a poor man's version of that, like
or a timeshare, or a
timeshare,
RV, or yeah.
Okay, so
a
now,
boat. Yeah.
right, exactly. So now you figure they shut it down, right? And they're not opening anytime soon, right?
No.
So what's the first thing? Do people's payments? They're not due like at the first of the month. They're due the day you open you start your membership. So they're literally billing people 30 days out of the month. So there's people getting hit every day with their payment. And then they shut down, and guess what? People are getting build, right? Their payments are getting drafted, and they start, asking questions. Hey, what the heck? What are you going to do
Yeah.
about this?
What's the plan?
So here's what they did. They said, we're going to keep charging you because it's annual, so it's only for 1 year.
Yeah.
We're going to keep charging you, and then when we reopen, whatever time you lost, you'll get it at the end,
For free.
basically. But people were pissed about that because they're like, this, I'm not working right now.
Right.
And you want me to
Right.
pay for
Later,
something that for something that
I
I
have
don't
no
might
money
not
for
even,
now.
and I
Yeah.
might not even want it later.
Yeah.
And they changed their tune in less than, in a matter of days.
Really?
They changed the policy, and they issued another statement saying, we're canceling all payments. But
Wow.
so
Suspending them or whatever.
yeah. But then if we reopen, then if you're expired, you're expired. If you have time left, then that's all you have left. So basically,
Ah. So they're not going to add credits. Like
it's just you're just not going to pay for time you're not there, basically, which makes more sense. And then for us, that ours is high.
Yeah.
I'm like that.
That helps.
And ours is due I don't know, tomorrow. It would have been due tomorrow, and I would have been pissed had I had to
Yes.
pay that.
Yes.
So I'm like, that's a good move right there.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, man. These corporations, they need to be able to stomach some of that, Like small businesses, yeah. I mean, we know the margins on that stuff or whatever. Disney is worth like 40, 50 billion dollars.
Cash money.
They just doubled, dude. They have now 50 million subscribers on Disney Plus. They're not hurting.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So like they don't need to be pulling money from people that aren't making anything right now. They're
No.
just fine. They can float this one.
Yep.
Take one for the team, Disney.
Yep. I agree.
So, yeah, that's the right thing to do. I mean, it's crazy, man. It is nuts out
Crazy
there.
times, man. So any shows you're watching or any fun stuff keeping you
Did
guys
you know
busy?
when I was in quarantine in here
The
in the
closet?
garage in the closet, dude, you know what came on? I don't know how. It was sort of like randomly popped up. Cheers. Remember
Never got
Cheers?
into that. Oh yeah.
Dude, season 1 popped in and I was like, what is this? Dude, it's so cool because Cheers is one of the shows that's on like a decade, I think, like probably at least that long, if I don't know exactly, but you got to know those characters, right? Well, you start season 1 and one by one you're getting introduced to everybody, you know what I mean? So you get to hear the backstories and sort of what brought him into the bar, and and even as like some of these characters and stuff, like they're not, you can tell like they just threw him in there with sort of a not really fully developed, and you can just see like you're like, man, that's how it started. And you want to say like fast forward 5 seasons and you're like, oh, now they've really made that into somebody. That person's now like a main character. And then here it was just a bit part that they were sort of like just testing out.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty fascinating. So I don't know, for whatever reason, and what the truth is too, like you watch a lot of these shows and their shows now are really heady, like even watching like Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is another show I've been watching. Like I get done with those episodes and they're hilarious, right? But I always get done and I'm like, damn, I need I'm all tense now, because Larry David's a jerk, and you're like, I can't, you're like, that was fun, but it was like watching a train wreck. Whereas you watch Cheers and you're like, man, that is some lighthearted, wholesome, like even at its worst, it was wholesome as heck,
Yeah.
And it's a bar. You're like, this should be like seedy, but it was great. I'm like, and you're like, man, how pioneering is that? Like, we're going to do a sitcom that takes place 100% in a bar. Like, there was no other set. There was no,
And
nothing.
you figure regulars means drunk people, right?
Yeah.
like drunks.
Yeah,
Like who goes to the bar regularly? The same
right.
bar.
Exactly. And spends a lot of time there. And then, somehow these guys are still married, you know? Norm is still married. I don't know how he's married because he's there every day,
Yeah.
and he just complains about his wife. I don't think we ever meet her. I don't know, but it's just hilarious, But yeah, and then you find out like Sam Malone actually has like he was a recovering alcoholic, and I'm sure at the time like that was like, like that was taboo, we don't talk about, Alcoholics Anonymous and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure like, even at that stage, it was like, oh, we're gonna broach some real, sensitive topics on Cheers,
Yeah.
So anyway, but I did start watching the what's it called, the
Tiger King.
Tiger King.
Oh man,
Dude, what a wreck.
what episode are you on?
Dude, I think I only made it through one. I think I made it through the first one.
We gave up after 2, and then the memes kept going and going and going and going. We're like, what the heck? Like, I don't get it, right?
Uh-huh.
You have to get past the second one.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it's just like, it's just a train wreck the whole way down. And you can't look away.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's just the memes are the best. It's just like, they're too funny.
Think about this though. Think this is
Dude, put it this way. It's so popular. Somebody asked the president about it yesterday.
I heard about that. Asked him if they'd pardon him.
Yes.
He's like, I'll think about it.
Yeah, he's like, should I?
All right, I'll look into it. Yeah.
Should I?
Should I?
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah. That's
But think about this, man. Think about this for just a second. Like this guy's sitting in a cell right now in some county jail. Okay? Not a federal prison, like just some freaking county jail.
He finally got the fame he wanted.
Dude, there's over like 15 million views a day on that. Like this guy has like risen to the height of his and this guy wanted to be famous.
Yes.
It's not like oh I don't want all the attention. The dude loves the attention.
That's right.
Right? And here he is. Right now they say it's the most popular running Netflix show of all time. Like it's been a #1 for like 2 weeks now. Right? So here's this guy, spends his whole life trying to seek this fame, finally gets it, but he's sitting in a freaking county jail. Imagine that, dude. Right now, this guy's like, this guy would be on every talk show if they were still doing that, and instead he's stuck behind bars.
It's unreal.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
But then who was it? Then I think was it Kim Kardashian or something even said like, oh, she's like now into like criminal justice reform or something like that because of it. I'm like, well, it's better than standing for what she stood for before. VHS tapes, but the idea being like if she can do, criminal justice reform is pretty big, but it's sort of funny that like the Tiger King was sort of people's gateway into that world. It's so crazy. So crazy. Dude, documentaries are getting so good. Did you ever watch the one about a McDonald's one? The McMillions?
McMillions was good.
Did you watch it?
I did, yeah.
Dude, so good.
Some crazy stuff. You know what I didn't enjoy though is that I wanted to know so bad, like how did he do it?
Yeah.
And then when they finally got to that, it was kind of like a dud for me. Like,
yeah.
It was like he went to the bathroom and he like stole the pieces. I'm like, that's it?
That's it.
I'm like, I don't know. Like, it was good. I expected it to be like this like Ocean's 11 crap. Like
I know, right?
It's like there's this and then the scheming, like no, he went in the bathroom and stole the pieces. I'm like, what in the world?
But one thing I want to know is, so they said it was only possible because he found this extra pack of security stickers.
Yep.
Right. Somehow he had got these by mistake or whatever they said. But that's really what did it, because he had to remove it and it would it would prove that it was, you know, tampered with, but he had an extra and he'd slap that down on top of it and it would, you know, it would seal the deal. So
Yeah.
had that not happened, he probably wouldn't have even tried it, but somehow he managed to do it. But dude, how crazy was it too? Like you watch that whole thing and you're like, you realize like how people's lives have changed. And like, I forget exactly too. There was like the whole thing about like who was the informant in the beginning.
Yeah. Dude,
And
here's the worst part of it all. No one who got $1 million ever got rich. No one.
none.
Zero. Because they don't give you $1 million cash. They give you, what was it, 20 G's a month or something, whatever. Payments. It's
Not
payments.
even that. It was like
Well, here's the
a
worst part.
year or something.
It's $1 million,
nothing.
right?
Yeah.
And then you pay half in taxes, right?
Yes.
Or you not pay, but you owe half in taxes.
Yes.
But then you owe half of the money to the guy who gave you the ticket.
Right.
So first you're out 20,000.
Right.
So you're out cash money. You're in debt.
Right.
Trying to get the ticket. Then you get it.
Yeah.
And then half of it goes to the government.
Yep.
So you're left with 10 G's. And then the guy's knocking at your door for his 5 every he has your 20 plus 5 every month collecting
Yep.
from your half of your payments.
Right.
So you'll barely recover the 20 you put in.
No.
It's like the stupidest thing. The only winner is the guy, you know, the ringleader, you know?
Oh yeah.
The guys running this, the only winners. They're
Yeah.
just collecting money for nothing.
Yeah.
And those guys are just like dummies, you know,
Yeah.
puppets.
And he served like 3 years in prison and that was it.
Yeah.
Something like that. So he's out, you know. And then they said, you know, he still has a nice house and all this. They didn't seize a lot of it.
No, they didn't.
So somehow and they're like, yeah, the guy's like, he had it hidden, you know,
Yeah.
in like, you know, in a hole in the yard, you know, because they're like, that's the kind of guy he is.
They said, right? He's probably got it buried.
Yeah.
He's probably got some buried somewhere.
Yeah. Amazing.
Unbelievable. That was good though. I feel like right now there's nothing to watch. It's drives me crazy.
Isn't that so funny? We watch like, and I love Disney Plus because I like you know, for the kids and stuff. But man, I struggle, dude. You know, like I can only take so many Marvel movies. Can take only so many Star Wars things. You know. I wonder what they're gonna do. Disney's got to step it up. I mean, The Mandalorian was awesome. Did you know, dude, that whole thing was shot in Manhattan Beach? 100% of it in a studio. They were outside for 0 of that show. Look it up.
How?
They have a soundstage, dude, it does a surround. You know how we were talking to AR Wall about their setup, and we said, you know, does it curve? Does it like fit this thing? That's what they have. They have a projection screen that's round, and it goes above too, so it mimics the sky. Dude, it's 100% shot in that. Look it up. It's crazy. Which I don't like. I'm like, how does that possible? Like, so the sets, half of them weren't even real, dude. Those cities that they're walking in weren't even real. I don't even know how. 100% shot at Manhattan Beach Studios.
And the show looks amazing.
It's so good. But they said like this is going to transform like how content is created, because they're like, it was so believable, but they could do it faster, cheaper.
Well, you figured, isn't the CGI expensive though, or is it getting? It's still, maybe time is money. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, and you're thinking it's Star Wars, right? Like how many huts, you know, do you have to make? You know,
You figure you're not starting from scratch on that.
You're not starting from scratch, right? You probably have a library of stuff from George Lucas's collection, but at the same time, I mean, those scenes where they're out at that one planet, and it's like like that village, you know?
Mhm.
And I'm like, how? I mean, wasn't there like water and stuff? Like, you're telling me that was all like a set? I don't know. I look into it. Like, from what I understood, it was like 100% in that studio. And they said it wouldn't have been possible with any other techniques because his uniform was reflective, right? So they're like, it would have been a dead giveaway if it was green screen, because you just have this green reflection that they'd have
Yep.
to like digitally get in and out of. They're like, it was the whole thing was projecting light onto his uniform. So anyway, crazy. In fact, let me look it up real quick. I'll just see
Yeah,
what
that would be dang.
Mandalorian behind the scenes, I guess.
Fans are dying, man, for like season 2.
Oh yeah, here they have some behind the scenes stuff here. Yeah, dude, people. I mean, it was such a good one. It was so easy. Like, let's see. Okay, calm down, masterclass.
Yeah, I can add it here.
Let me make it small. So yeah, see if they show any of it. So they have sets, yeah, but like, okay, come on.
But you're saying that's indoor.
It's all indoors. Yeah. Here, you can kind of see it. Look. Oh, and there's George Lucas sitting there.
Hey.
Oh snap! Jorge's there. Yeah, so they had sets, but like, I want to see the stage, like the when they're outside. Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah. How is that not outside? Okay. There he is.
It's unreal.
They're not going to show it. I bet it's a little.
Hey, we got a 10-minute warning here, and we'll switch gears here. We got we're gonna add our buddy Nate Fry to this box lunch here.
Oh, here we go.
Nate Fry is the co-founder of Lifey, one of our startups. So let me patch him in. Nate Dog.
What's up,
hey,
guys?
Nate and Mini Me.
This is Owen.
Hey.
What's up, Owen?
What's up, big guy?
Say hi.
Hi.
Ah.
Oh, it's all good.
How you guys doing?
Cool. We got 9 minutes left on this thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you see the little powered by logo.
Yes.
So this is the free version. So just context. By the way, you're on our podcast.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah. So this is I introed you before I patched you in. So
Oh, perfect.
yeah. StreamYard. So it's the first time we use it. We saw Gary V using it this morning.
Yeah.
But he had the pro version, and it's got a lot more cool features.
Yeah.
Like you can brand it however you want. You can put in videos live.
Okay.
But the best thing is, so on my screen, the admin screen, I see like all the boxes of whoever's hanging out waiting, because it put me in a waiting room, right? I think when you joined, you were just hanging out.
Right.
So then you
I
just
could view though.
What's that?
I could view though from the waiting room.
Yeah, which is kind of cool too. And then we can mess with layouts here.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's
the
cool.
admin has control over this.
Yeah.
Not every man for himself, like in Zoom.
Right. And then we could add, these are called banners, or you can add tickers. So you see, you can do one like
oh yeah.
Join Lifey. It's kind of cool. You could add overlays.
Oh, very cool. Okay. Yeah. Are the overlays and everything in the web on the web app?
The whole thing's web-based. Yeah,
Very cool.
totally cool. Yeah. Yeah, and you can take people in and out. So if I want to make you or Nate like the primary speaker, boom, you.
Yeah.
And we're
Very
live
cool.
on YouTube right now.
To all
Oh, okay.
5 of our followers.
All 5.
Yeah, but the pro one lets you go. Lets you do. There's a premium version that lets you do 2 channels.
Okay.
So you can go YouTube, Facebook, or YouTube Periscope, whatever.
Right.
And then the top tier lets you do 5 all at once. So you can
That's
go
pretty
like
cool.
YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Periscope, LinkedIn, all at once. Just cool. And then the comments is cool because if someone responds to the live video through
Yeah.
comments, doesn't matter where they come from, you can show it here, the bottom.
Oh, that's pretty cool. It just gives a badge for where the content's coming from.
Yeah.
So this isn't really meant to be viewed here on this website. You're not really supposed to go to StreamYard.com to view it. You're supposed to be viewing it and interacting
Yeah.
from
You're
YouTube or
You're viewing it
Facebook.
here because you're on it.
Right.
You're on the show, but viewers are looking at it. So like I have my phone here.
Oh yeah.
This is YouTube.
Just streaming straight from YouTube
Yeah.
live stream.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. How's the login at ease? Does it just give us your credentials or a key or
one-
something?
One click.
Mhm.
Just click connect Facebook, connect YouTube. You connect your social to this, and then it does the rest.
We might have to use this once we get some talent on Lifey going.
Yeah,
And
because
then-
I was thinking, what if you had like almost like I don't know. It's more to think about how creative we can get with it, which is
yeah,
we could do the other thing we already have planned, but what if we had like an hour, right? An hour where we're like you said, where it's kind of like the not bidding, but go donate to this thing, and we're just gonna
Yeah.
pick random people that are donating to this cause, and we're gonna patch them in live right now.
right.
So then your talent is just hanging out, right? And then the cool thing is you don't even have to be on here. So
Then
like-
it's more like that's kind of like a show,
Yeah. So like me, I can remove my.
right? It cuts your audio too when you do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
You're-
just like
I don't see you at all from
Yeah.
this side.
so you take yourself out. You know, you let the two talk, and then you add yourself. You're like, cool. Next, you know,
Right.
you can add a little bit of a screen
What
share. in here.
was Gary Vee doing with it earlier?
He just talks to people one-on-one for like 2 hours, and he's got a producer, one of his guys,
Yeah.
managing the whole thing. Gary just sits here and talks.
Right.
The guy does like he puts an intro video, he patches people in and out for 2 hours straight, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's way cool.
So basically, someone's producing, and then the talent just basically just shows up.
I like it. Works good. Looks
Yeah.
good.
And surprisingly,
Screen
for,
works well.
for it being free, this version, it's not bad at all.
And once you're live on YouTube, there's no limit to how many users you can have.
No, that's all based on YouTube. That's all based on Facebook. That's all based on your followers there.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah. Well, I got to jump off because we've got a Zoom scheduled with some
Oh,
friends.
cool. 5 o'clock Zoom?
But this is a good way to segue out.
Stay connected.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Thanks for listening. Check us out on SoundCloud and YouTube and everywhere else, Sitebox. And check out joinlifefeed.com. We'll be updating it pretty soon. Thanks, everyone. Peace.
Awesome.
Thanks, Nate.
guys. Later.
Yeah, guys.
Later.
Yeah, thanks, Nate. Catch you later.